Hey there, if you're watching this video, that means that you are hopefully past or right at the end of the sowing stage of the alumni strategy training on TeamGold. So good job. Listen, it's been a lot of work. I think I'm preaching to the choir when I say that. It's been a lot of work, and it may be tempting right now to kind of take a break, feel like you're done. But actually, we think that's one of the worst things that you could do right
Absolutely.
now. I'm here with Lindsay Large. She coaches a lot of campus field teams in their development strategy. So Lindsay's talking with TLs all the time. Lindsay, I want you to imagine that you are sitting down with a team leader.
All right.
You've been coaching them through this process with the alumni strategy, and they say, Lindsay, it feels so awesome to be done with that sowing stage. It's been a lot of work, and we finally have people who are giving to our ministry. We feel like our alumni are engaged. Stuff is clicking along. I know that there's more on TeamGold, but I really think that we need to take a break. We got to just focus on some other stuff for a little bit. We can come back to this another time down the road. How does that sound, Lindsay? What would you say?
Oh, man. Okay, first of all, I do get it. It is a lot. We are not asking you to do something small. Like, this is a huge thing, and the temptation to stop in the middle is going to be there. But I think there are probably at least 3 things I would communicate to them of why I wouldn't want you to do that.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, so the first thing I would say, you're going to lose momentum. Like, think about when you're planning a vision dinner and then you stop for a year and you have to start all over. And it just feels like you're trying to, or a car that you're trying to push and you finally get it to go and then you just stop and it stops. So you have already done all the hard work. Don't stop now. Don't make yourself have to do double the work. And think about, you've been sowing seed. You have been planting, tilling, and sowing. You've done so much work. Now it's time that we're going to get to see some of those seeds start to take root. And if you stop now, there's a great chance those seeds that you've already done all this work for will never reach their full potential. So you might have a good base, but it might just stop there. And so, yeah. And then thinking about too, you really want to cultivate this. You are the one that keeps the community that we talked about earlier in this training. You are the one that's kind of keeping that going at first. You might never get to figure out alumni who could really are bought in and want to help you reach your goal if you just stop now. And honestly, it could fall apart. Great, I'm so glad you're seeing some success, but don't stop.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think of the metaphor of the field and the farming and all that, it's if you just leave a field, yeah, it's great if you've got crops growing now, but it's only a matter of time before they all die.
Yeah.
And you go back and you're like, I guess I got to go back to tilling. I got to start all over again. So don't want that to happen.
No, you got one tomato, but think about the hundreds of tomatoes you could have had.
Right. Okay, what else you got?
Yes, thank you. So too, thinking about what opportunities are you missing? You have people that you've been meeting with that are excited right now. These people, they are bought in. They have heard from you recently. They want to know, how can they invest right now? And so if you just let that wither away, what if their circumstances change? And, think about all the people that were hey, I want to disciple somebody. I want to come to your weekly meetings or a conference. But a few years down the road, maybe they have a family or a job change that takes them elsewhere or that demands more of their time. So it's going to be more difficult later on when they have other commitments versus the people you've just talked about right now that want to do that. And then, too, if you're not following up with these people, you're really losing rapport. And even earlier, as we talked about, getting to ask for future one-time gifts about things that are very near and dear to them, you're kind of losing some of that rapport that you've been building for that trust and that special gift that they might do. And then the last thing with that is what if their information changes? People do move. What if their cell phone changes and you've been doing all this work to gather their information and you're going to have to start doing that all over again? And then I would say thirdly, we really want to care for our alumni and our ministry partners. And when we are stopping, and often it's like, even as an alumni myself, like, what if you feel forgotten or uncared for? Like, but think about being a part of a thriving alumni network, that the staff care so much about you that they want to reach out. They want to let you know by their newsletters what's going on. They want to keep you updated. And so people that are in the know and feel connected are less likely to lapse their giving over time. And so I know it's hard, but you can do it and it will pay off.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks, Lindsay. Thank you for all those wise words. If you're watching this, and I hope that you pulled a U-turn right now. I hope you're like, you know what, Lindsay, you're right. I was way out of line. We got to keep going on this. But seriously, you guys have done a great job to get to this point.
Yes,
Just
seriously.
keep chugging. It only gets, well, I wouldn't say only gets easier. There, but it gets easier from
But
here.
the biggest,
you're
the
past
biggest
the hardest
part is behind you.
Just don't let it all come undone, and 5 years from now, you got to do this whole thing again, right? Thanks again, Lindsay.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
And good luck moving on in your alumni strategy.